Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air.
Okay.
Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air.
All right.
Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air.
Okay.
Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. Where to am I from?
What is up? Hello, hello, hello. Look, no microphone. I'm talking in thin air How's it sound, by the way? I may be peaking a little bit. Let me make sure I'm not peaking like terrible. Woohoo! What's up, Hans, Joseph? Thank you guys for being here. Bit of a peak, yes. Okay. All right. We doing some tweaking. Is that better? Is that a little better? Okay. You can't see the microphone. It's like right here. It's got this cool magnet thing. Not only does it have this clip, right? Those are terrible. Like I can clip it, right? And then it's like, you know, right there. But this thing's like, it's gangly, right? Yeah, well, it's the first time using it. This is the first time I've drug it out and used it. So hopefully it sounds okay. I've got a few things to work on with it. But as long as I sound okay, you guys, it's weird. It's weird. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that sound really terrible? I want to stick it back on my shirt. Uh-oh. I'm recording. I don't want to record. I might say something I'll regret later. Okay. I've been monitoring myself because I want to turn that off my headphones so that I don't see. Also, just a heads up, I'm switching headphones to these Scarlett 2i2, the Scarlett Studio headphones. I'm going to switch to use those because these are total over the ear and you know, there's no, I'm going to buy me some new ones because these are already, the foam stuff is coming off. I don't want that. So I guess I'll find me some better over the ear ones. I like my in-ear monitors. They work great, but you know, for just general use, it's weird. Okay, let's try something here. We're gonna try something. All right. Let's mute the music. We'll mute the music. How does it sound? Does it sound okay? Am I clear? Is there a lot of background noise going on? Because what I've done is I got my mixer to work. So I've got this microphone. I don't know if can you see it? Maybe you might not be able to see it. Here, let's I should really change the thing. We'll get to the short here in a second. I did not even turn everything on like I was supposed to. Okay. So hair light, there we go. You still sort of can't see that? Okay. Backlight, all right. I probably should have worn a better shirt. No. What? Okay. I haven't, the Neewer, this is a Neewer NW800. Neewer NW800. So I'm going to, now you can hear me. Now you can hear me. This is the DJI lapel mic that I've got going into the Behringer and then into vMix. So I'm going to mute this one. And now we're going to try this one. All right. How's this sound? Are we okay? We've got the Newer. We've got the DJI. Newer. DJI. Comparison. Sound about the same. Newer. Paging Dr. Newer. Paging Dr. Newer. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go and we're going to do the wave mic. This is the wave mic. This does not go through the Behringer. So we've got the wave. DJI. Newer. DJI. Wave. The wave sounds off. So as in too bassy, too tinny maybe. Okay. I will do some testing with that. But right now I'm using the DJI. I'm just going to use that. So goodbye. Goodbye microphones. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Tuesday. Alex, what's up? I'm using the DJI. Check 2. Oh, check 2. And now I'm using 2. I'm probably echoing. You hear me double. I'm in stereo. I don't. Yes, got the magnet. That's kind of cool. I like the magnet. I'll stick that back in. How do I turn that? Okay, I should turn that off. Turn it off. There we go. All right. So yeah, I like the magnets. Magnets are pretty cool. There was something else I looked in the manual about the magnet. I don't know, that you could stick it, I don't know, to plates or whatever, but so far, it's a remarkably good mic. Well, I will be putting it into use once when Tara and I are going to be doing that. How are you interfacing? USB into the PC or through a board? Through the Behringer. I've got the Behringer 1204 USB mixer. So it's going USB, which I'm pulling that into vMix. I'm actually doing it with the XLR, a little mini plug XLR adapter going to an XLR plug into the board, which is then USB into my thing. I am Grimskull. I am the super awesome pixel pushing samurai. for David Foster Media. I think I talked about shorts before, but I'm kind of going to go through a shorts workflow now, because we're going to be doing a lot more shorts with Redacted. So I've been working on a workflow that I can kind of do a turnaround on a couple a day as needed. I'll be using Premiere as the main editor with a 9:16, of course, sequence, and then do my editing. I have some overlays ready to go. Let's just walk through that. Let's go ahead and kind of walk through my workflow. Unless anybody's got any questions about the DJI mic, which again, I just got these. This is the first time I've actually tried to use it, and since I finally figured out why my USB board wasn't, I had to turn some knobby things to get it to work right. Excuse me, sorry, I just had dinner. Yes, because that was a little confusing how you are connecting the DJI receiver to your board. It is okay. Here, let me do this. I'm going to I muted my DJI, and now I'm using the Neewer. This is a Neewer microphone, which is also connected into the board. And I wish I had my my Logitech hooked back up. All right, so I've got the receiver, of course, with the little 3.5 plug-in going into a Rode XLR adapter, which I had gotten because I was attempting to use, the Rode wireless Go, or Go Wild, the Rode Go Wire. I don't know how you say it. I don't remember how you say it. Yep. So it's for XLR. Boop. So I got that. This is the cable that came with the mic, and then I just plug it into the XLR plug. And 1, 2, 3. Bob's your uncle. If you have an Uncle Bob. So there we go. Set the gain and all that stuff, and it should be good to go. I mean, it sounds all right, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not peaking, right? It works pretty good. Here, let's try this. I want to try. All right. I'm gonna mute this while I fiddle with it. Robert's your father's brother. I'm gonna mute this while I attempt to plug something in so I don't kill people's ears. That work? Is that any better or less? Is that worse or better? Worse or better? Worse or better? It looks like it's lower. Worse? A lot worse. Yeah. I thought I'd try. All right. All right. We're back. I hope. Hope we're back. All right. So let's get into a shorts workflow, shall we? And turn our music back on. Turn it down a bit. All right. All right. So this is my template that I've got set up so that when I edit a short, I can then kind of pull it in. What I usually do is I will create my sequence, and I've got 16:9 portrait. And I'm just going to name this short test for the heck of it. And I've got a couple of clips already. Of course, one of the things about shorts is, you're usually going to take content that you have, unless you shoot it specifically for the short. But I'm taking content and repurposing it. This is one of the stories they did on Redacted. Obviously, it doesn't fit the screen like it should. So I'm going to select it, and I'm just going to go up to the scale, and then first I'm going to put it on a spot where I can see where there's a face, and so we're going to scale Natalie up. And then I'm just going to kind of scrub a little bit through it and see, how far her head goes back and forth. Obviously, they go to a 2-shot there. So I'm going to go to that 2-shot and go ahead and make a cut. And then I'm going to take her clip and use the positioning, the X, and kind of center up a little bit. Now, a lot of times you're going to have, like, you know, if you're repurposing stuff and you use lower thirds and graphics and stuff, what you can do, I'll show you how to hide that sort of stuff here once I get this cut. So we have so right there we can kind of cut to where Clayton's talking. And then we'll cut back to Natalie when she says yes. So I'm going to place my playhead right about there, and then I'm going to go and select that clip there, and we're just going to move that over to Natalie. So it's going to go from close up to Natalie. All right, so actually we want to go to Clayton, so we're going to move it the other way. So there we go. All right. And I believe there's another, it switches cameras back to Natalie, so I'm going to get the playhead right where I want it and make another cut. And then we're going to move this clip, part of the clip, over so we can see Natalie again. So now I'll go from Natalie I feel like we might be able to zoom in a bit more on this clip with Natalie. Okay, so that's the cut. So I've made my cuts. I've moved the clips, centered them, changed the frame of reference so that the point of view is centered in the camera. And you would probably want to do that too, because I did one with Zelensky, right? One the other day. I'll just bring that up. They're going to show, here he is where he's coming into Congress, and I needed to follow the subject. So, I set some keyframes and key points. Because as he's moving, I want to follow that. So up here, I'm in the position, I put 2 keyframes so that, if I turn the motion off, then you can see how they didn't follow. Oops. You can see how they kind of didn't follow him there. Let's turn that back on. You just want to follow the motion. Probably. So anyway, that's you know, when you have motion, when you have somebody you want to try to track, keep the active, you know, point of view centered. You can do that by adding position keyframes and just kind of, or you know, moving it, positioning it with keyframes. You want to keep the subject, right? You keep the subject as center frame as best you can. Anyway, that was how I did that with using position keyframes. All right, so now that I've got my rough cut done, I can then pull that into my template. Now my template, I've got it set up to be a minute long, but this is only about 30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds. So what I do is then I just tighten up all my other elements. I pull in the overlay, I get rid of the elements that I don't really need, and then I can pull in my end plate. Right there. So here it is with the elements on it. And I use that the red kind of background down here covers up any lower thirds or graphics that may have been, you know, visible. Redacted has a cut of music they use for their, you know, the beginning. You know, they're open. Everybody seems to really like that song. It's kind of techno dance, I guess, and it's from Epidemic Sound. So I went in and just got in Epidemic Sound. You can grab stems or just, you know, pieces of the music. Like, you know, they have the drums, they have the instruments, they'll have vocals and stuff like that. And so I just grabbed, like, I think the melody of it. Yeah, the melody. I grabbed the melody. This is the melody. You know, the drums and the bass and all that stuff sounded pretty good to use, and kept it within the brand. And once I do that, I export it, which I've already exported a copy before, and then I open up another app called Descript. As you know, on a lot of these shorts and the TikToks and all that stuff, there are captions or subtitles. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to choose a file to transcribe. So I go to footage, shorts, needs caps. I can set the speaker name. Speaker 1. There are 2 speakers. Will it detect Clayton? Even if it doesn't, that's okay. All right, well, I'll just say is to do captions. You guys can still hear me, thank goodness, because I'm going straight into vMix with my microphone. My this, it's been doing this to me a lot. Oh, check. All right. We may be, yes, okay. My voice is back, at least, I think. Maybe. Okay. We're trying. My stream, can you guys still hear me? Because it looks like vMix is just not responding. All right, still hear me. Good. All right. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. Yeah, vMix is kind of kaput. All right. If I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to try to close vMix and then come back. So stand by. We'll see what happens. Okay, there's Wavelink. Wavelink has come back. I'm trying to get to the task manager to see if it's locked up. I did a reboot right before I came on. I don't see any. It's not saying it's not responding. Let's try something else. See it? Does my scene switch? Something happened. All right. That was weird. All right. Okay. All right. Take 2. All right. So we've pulled in the export, and one of the trends that people like to do is put like captions or uh, you know subtitles of what the people are saying. And Descript has that ability to be able to go in and transcribe, and then you can select your text. Has a nice and a kind of a cool feature. You can remove filler words like in there. We'll take that out. We'll just kind of first we're gonna add the subtitles. So I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna click on the T up here at the top. Select captions, and then let's just play. We'll play it. Can't hear it, can we? Can we not hear it? I can't hear her. Let me check my audio again. Always with the audio. I can hear it. All right. That should be good. Should be good. Thumbs up. Yay. Can't hear the video. Okay, I know what the problem is. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. Like last time. And I don't think it's my software. I think my wavelength is finally crapping out. Is what I think. I think this thing is finally crapping out after a few of these years. Because it's like the USB it's losing connection. Which causes me to have to go in and wave mic, wave stream. I got to go in and I don't think it's the cable. At least, I mean, I might just have to go check and make sure it's plugged in correctly. You know, could be. Wavelength stream. Okay. All right. Sure, I don't blast anybody's ears out.
They sort of sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan.
it to 'em?
Yes, like through
There we go.
medical conferences, and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well, that, basically the pharma, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
All right. So back to the task at hand. We're adding captions or subtitles, the neat kind of fancy subtitles where it,
And how they sort of
it reads
sold
along.
the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan,
it to 'em?
yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well, that, basically the pharma, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this.
So right
as
now,
a mental health issue, and then they were
it's
able
just
to sell
kind of
tons drugs.
plain looking subtitles. So now what we can do is we want to edit, make sure everything is correct. Right now I see there has Japan twice, and I don't think we need those in there. So I'm gonna go up here, select them, and then delete those words. And I think at the end she says drugs,
Able to sell tons of drugs.
and that is not.
Will sell tons of drugs.
We want to select that, and we want to select it and hit correct because we want that to say of drugs.
Of drugs.
I think we can get, because it kind of goes into our end plate. I think we want to pull that. In some. Where's my hand? All right, A. There we go. Oops, I almost had it.
Tons of drugs.
Wait. Okay, you were asking before. Sorry. When you have a moment, Grim, how do you know which part live stream content you can scale down to do a short? Shorts are less than 60 seconds or less than a minute, up to a minute for YouTube. I don't know offhand what they are for TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, but for YouTube to be a short, it has to be under 60 seconds and in portrait. So basically any content that you can edit to make sense in 60 seconds is what you want, will make good content. You want to, some you can plan out that way, right? Usually if you're going to do a lot of shorts, you're going to plan them out, script them out to be, within that time frame, within that time limit. Other times you're going to have to, kind of do some creative editing and cuts to make it, make things sound in context, which is what I will be doing most of the time is trying to tell, the story in 60 seconds out of maybe up to a 30-minute clip, or or picking just those sections, those sections where there's a train of thought that has a start and an end, right? That goes to completion within 60 seconds. Basically what I'm doing. Have a good night, Joseph. Yes, I mean, Joseph, you should only stream for 60 seconds and you will have perfect shorts. Just, just cut your streams down to 60 seconds. Boom. All right.
And how they sort of sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold?
Yes, like through medical conferences. And
Now, of course, it's kind of hard to
would
see
come
this
out and
text,
say,
so a lot
"I've
of people
been
will throw
experienced in
strokes
China as well,"
around
that,
it. They will
basically the
choose a
farmers,
different
they
font.
went and they paid therapists to
And it
start
will
to talk about this.
It will let me do that here also. So we are going to select the captions layer. Sounds amazing, JC Schwartz said it. Yes. We're going to click on captions over in the right-hand menu. We're going to choose the font that we want to use. Right now it's Roboto, but we use Roboto Slab, and I'm going to choose Extra Bold. That gives it, that thickens it up really good. I want to do one other thing, because and I'm not sure. If it, oh, sorry, folks. I kind of want to do all what is thick, what is thickening, making the font, thicken it up so it's easier to read on the screen. If you're using white text, you're going to want to add, maybe a drop shadow. Or a stroke. I've been thickening up for a long time, Kevin. How are you, Kevin? Kevin Michael Reed, folks. One of the hardest working men in show business and stroking. Yeah. Yeah, the kids are away, man. The kids are away. No, we are official empty nest folks. So the live to oops, you can't see the live text. So we can do a stroke, right? I think there's a stroke on it right now. Yeah. You can make it red so you can see it better. Oh, that's the fill. I don't want a red fill. The border we can make it red so you can see it better. A lot of people like using the black fill. I use no stroke on it. We are going to set the background though to black. Then the captions I'm going to set to next to captions, a little settings button. I'm going to set that to karaoke. And what that does is it highlights each word. As a reading, and I'm going to use the redacted color. Well, I'm not necessarily red. I'm going to make it red. And what with redacted, we like to make things look like they're redacted. So future words right now is set to gray. I'm going to set it to black so you can't see it on the background. And then I'm going to set the text size to about 90. And let's see how this looks. All right. And I think I want to get rid, if I deselect it, you can't see that little outline. So here we go.
And how they sort of sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold?
Yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well, that, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
Now, one thing you got to be aware of with shorts, especially on the phone. Now, when you look at shorts on YouTube, you will notice that it'll have all the like, the description buttons, and all that stuff. It'll have that stuff, like this will be the short, you know, and then on the side, it puts all the like buttons and all that stuff out on the side. And in the bottom, it puts the title and the name of the channel. And that's what down here, down in the bottom, that's where that red lower third bar is. Because that's where the title is going to go, and then the channel name, and then next to that, if you have a subscribe button, they'll put like a watermark, your watermark, or you know your profile image. Now, when it's on the phone, it moves that stuff from the outside on into the left, into that left or the right edge, the inner right edge, right? And so you got to be careful of where you place your captions and stuff if it's for YouTube Shorts, because you know some people get kind of OCD about it and they don't want things covered in the text. So I with my captions, I go to my captions, and there's a layout over here in Descript, and I can change the Y of that. I can move it up just a bit, and then I move it over just a bit. And I'm experimenting a lot with this. You can even rotate your captions if you want. I set them to be justified from the bottom, so that if it's a single line of text, it stays at the bottom, but and the builds and then goes from the top to bottom like that. The one thing I am not sure of, which I would love to have, they have this strike through. I don't know what that means. You can italicize stuff. You can bold it. Comments, you can change the text. I wish, and I'm looking, solo track script, okay. Layout. Yeah, it does not give me any other it does not give me any other formatting for the text. I would love to be able and to go in and I wonder if it'll do it. We could just try it, right? We can try it. Let's try this. I'm gonna pull up Word. Word to your mother. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy. I'm going to pull it into Word. Come on. I know what I want to do. I want to, where's my, I always lose that. Word to your mother. There it is right there in front of me. Uppercase. I want all of this to be in uppercase. So we're going to select all of that again. Let's see if it will paste it. Failed to paste. Paste special. Can't paste attributes from multiple clips. Okay. That's something I'm going to look into. Because I would really love for that to be, okay, let's just do this. We'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's do it now. Do it now. Okay, while editing your script, 3 hotkeys are used for making quick edits to your show. Okay. Hold down Z and click the word to toggle capitalization on or off. Okay. That toggle's bold. What's that? Toggle update. What? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm doing some dumb stuff. What do you think Control Z does? What did it say it did? Was it Control Z? Hold down Z and click a word to talk. Okay. All right. That's definitely not what I mean, close but no cigar. Let's go to Descript. Help and feedback. Help. Center. All caps. Just word guarantee. Make subtitle, make captions. See you, Joe. Glad to see you're alive and well. Haven't seen you around. Hope things are going good. And yeah, can't. Happy New Year and Happy Christmas and all that stuff. Take care. Okay, we're how to make fancy captions all uppercase. Oh, what? That was kind of gross.
In this video, I'll show you how to.
All right. All right. So I don't get any copyright claims of me. I'm going to watch this video. You guys can watch me watching the video. Another day. What? All right. Yep, I know how to do that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So far, he's not telling me anything I don't know. Again, he's not telling me anything I don't already know. Okay. All right. That's a bust. That's a bust. It wants me to it's uploading a custom font, which, you know, that's fine, but I want to use the font we have. So here we'll just go. Let's just review what we've done, what we have so far. That part seemed kind of odd at first, looking at it, but it works for me. All right, there we go. So my workflow is to do most of my editing and add any B-roll and overlay graphics in Premiere. Then pull that into Descript. Now, one thing I can do is kind of almost go the other way in that I can pull in the longer story, right? And then it will transcribe it, because Descript is a powerful tool to let you kind of look at what's being said, you know, through the transcript, and then you can cut the video to the transcript. That way, you know, you can find those places that make, you know, are logical transitions you can cut out extraneous, you know, parts and then whittle it down to, you know, a coherent 60-second clip, you know, just by editing the text, the transcript. So that's powerful in itself. Then I could export that as a video, pull that into Premiere. But let's try it. Let's do one thing. I'm gonna do File, New, Project. I don't know how many projects we can have. I'm going to choose a file to transcribe, and I'm going to go in and grab the raw clip. Now, can I change the properties of the project? Let's see if we can do that. I'll close that one back there. You can have multiple ones open. View, edit, project settings, and it's not the settings we want. Preferences. I don't think that is the preferences for what it's the video project. Yes. Format. Nope. Controls. Nope. Help center. Video settings. Where are the video settings? Over video settings, choose one of the list. Okay. Media, video. Nope, we don't want media. We want add scene. Multicam script clips. Let's see video settings. There it is. Okay, video settings, portrait. Okay, cool. So the three dots. The three dots is going to give us the video settings. So we can. That's where we can choose landscape, square, portrait, custom, and then there we go. All right. Why is it? That is hilarious.
Anorexia, so that
Okay.
they could treat it when it didn't really exist. anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore. Japan. Yes, like through medical.
All right. So
Anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore. Japan.
right at
There anymore. Japan.
anymore. Okay, we want to split. I think we could split that as a scene, right? Actually, I think we want to do that here. What are the controls? I want to be able to go frame by frame. Move playhead to next clip, next marker. No. I think we can add scene, right?
Exist there anymore. Japan. Yes, like through medical.
Okay.
Really exist there anymore. Japan.
We want to go the other way because that's where we wanted Clayton, right?
Exist there anymore. Japan. Yes, like.
All right. And then about there is where we want to cut it again. Keep trying to hold the, let's see how that works.
Anorexia. So
Go over here and I'm gonna move these scene cuts so that I can see them better.
Anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore. Japan. Yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been.
All right, so we got another cut here. Right there, so I right click and we're gonna add that scene. I'm gonna go over here and then select it and then boom. All right.
Influencers who would come out and say, I've been.
All right, and then we can. I think if we use the layout will let us move it with the mouse. So that's good.
Come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well. That, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell.
Yes, like through medical conferences and influencers. I am going to put a scene there, and then we want to add. They've got. Descript has a lot of B-roll and stuff. So let's say conference speaker. No. Influencer. Really? Oh, like, okay, how about salesman? Upgrade for unlimited access. What? Oh, it only, well, okay. Thank goodness I have access to other B-roll, but we're going to add something here. I'm glad you're doing this because I really don't know how to use these scripts, so any more descriptions you can give would be appreciated. Well, I definitely wouldn't use it for the B-roll because, you know.
Yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well. That, you know, basically the.
All right, we can actually, we're going to select this. I'm going to get if you select all your script and you want to get rid of your filler words and it highlights it, you'll see it highlighted it with the blue underline. You can go up and remove filler words. Gets rid of it. Yes, we all do it for money.
Anorexia, so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore. Japan, that, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs. And how they sort of sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan,
it to them?
yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well. That, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid therapists.
I'm going to create a scene by using the /. And then another scene. Oh, I didn't mean. And then I'm going to get some B-roll here. Therapist. They don't give you a lot of selection with the creator version, apparently. All right, let's use that. We'll use that. We're going to just kind of scale it up. These aren't really meant for great...
Say I've been experienced in China as well. That, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
All right. Now I want to I want to be able to put a like a lower third. Shapes. Rectangle. We're going to fill that with bit of red. Border, bright red. And we're going to stretch this. Let's zoom out, and then get out of here, walk 'em. Walk 'em.
And how they sort
There we go. Where did it go? So you got to select the item on screen. Then we can go in and we could just drag that all the way to the beginning. So now we have this that lower third, much like I had before.
and how they sort of
At the
sold
bottom.
the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan,
it to him?
yes, like through medical.
File. How can we import music? It has music, but you can add your own file from the computer, from files. Add file from computer. I'm going to go in. You can play it. Add it. Adds it to the top.
Differences.
Why is it not playing?
And influencers who would come out and
Move that to the top.
sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan,
it to him?
yes, like through medical conferences. Yes, yes, like through medical conferences, and it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan,
it to him?
yes,
Created this odd silence at the end
sell
when I did
tons
that.
of drugs.
Doodaloo, doodaloo. All right, let's go back to help center. Add music. Add. Swear to God, it said music there before. Video, audio, image layers, adding video, adding audio, record in the main editor, add project files or stock music, drag and drop, upload audio files, okay? Once we click, I mean, it's there. I see it.
To talk about this as mental health as well. That, you know, basically the pharma, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able.
Okay. I know why I'm not hearing anything. Because I think there is a huge area with no audio. There, see? Now we see the waveform. That's why. That makes sense. So you should see a waveform. I was wondering, I was like, shouldn't we be seeing a waveform? But there's a big, I don't know if there's an easy way to sit here and you know, I would most likely use Audition to go and
They went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as, and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well, that, you know, basically the pharma, they went and they paid therapists, drugs.
there, I think this little dots here is fades. Yeah, fade duration, fade.
Mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
A little fade at the
And how
beginning.
they sort of sold the Japanese anorexia through
And I
medical
think
conferences.
we can go in and
influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well. That, you know, basically the pharma, they went and they paid therapists to start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
Good. Drugs. Done writing.
Start to talk about this as a mental health issue, and then they were able to sell tons of drugs.
And again, we go to the captions. We're going to go up here and do captions, and we can change. Is that that's the hard play out of the video? We're going to click on the caption. You know, set your text. Ho, 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 yes. Roboto condensed, bold. You can do a border. I'm going to do a dark, bright red border, just for the heck of it. Effects. Shadow. That's a popular thing to do. Adding a shadow. A lot of times they don't have a blur. Very fickle, the shadow function. Hard to see it, but it's there. Uh, 100. You can set the width of the box so that it, you know, will show more words if you want on screen. But let's go. Let's see how that looks.
And how they sort of sold the Japanese.
Why is it down there? All right, let's move that up. All right.
And how they sort of sold the Japanese anorexia so that they could treat it when it didn't really exist there anymore.
Sold
Japan.
it to 'em?
Yes, like through medical conferences and influencers who would come out and say, I've been experienced in China as well, that, you know, basically the farmer, they went and they paid.
I think the
therapists
captions,
to
the captions
start to
got
talk about
split
this as
somehow.
been experienced in China as well, that
It seems. I think we would probably need to. Deselect, and then select, go to captions. And captions, and then select all. It is very fickle. It is very fickle. So it's something, doing it straight in takes some getting used to, especially if you're used to the traditional. I'm going to show all layers, right? That is my there's my caption. So that should yeah, see, somehow the captions are split. So before you make your splits, right, before you cut your video, you want to go ahead and set your caption parameters, settings, then do your split. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting tired. And you know, after you've got your script, your subtitles set, you know, with the font and the positioning of it, then if you want to go in and do those cuts where you add other video, that's fine. For me, I'm used to using Premiere, so that is going to be my weapon of choice to do my editing, and then pulling it into here to do captioning. But I'm pretty sure I can find some other uses for this somewhere down the line. It's a neat tool, but So that's kind of my workflow for the shorts moving forward that I'm going to be doing. So, and I also, this is my first test of the DJI mics, lapel mics. I might have to switch to it if my wavelength keeps, you know, being a jerk. You know what I'm saying? All right, folks, that's it for me tonight. Thanks for joining me. Hope you got something out of it. I'll be back Thursday. I'll probably be doing some more in Character Animator Thursday, finishing up a project. As always, appreciate you guys for being here, and have a good evening, and we will catch you later. Peace. Wow. That just like deadpanned, just totally bombed there at the end. I don't know why. But later, folks. Have a good night.